Every holiday film feels like a glossy, plastic Santa clone made by a corporate formula, scrubbed clean of any personality. We used to have soul, now we just have shiny plastic. The modern, sterile CGI Christmas movie look needs to die, because for timeless, emotional stories, the future belongs in the past, with the undeniable power of 2D animation. Stick around, we're going deep. Seriously, think about your favorite special. The lines on the Grinch's face, they aren't perfect. They're emotional. The color palette in Charlie Brown is muted and imperfect, which makes it feel like a cherished old memory. The simple, hand-drawn lines force your imagination to work, making the emotional payoff huge. But lately, that art form, that character-driven soul, has been shoved aside for a rendered surface. We traded the charm of a handcrafted card for the sterility of a stock photo. The magic isn't gone because you're cynical. It's gone because the studios are prioritizing polygons over passion. In this video, we're not just complaining, we're dissecting the principles. We're going to analyze the uncanny valley of Christmas, why the detail in CGI makes your brain reject the emotion. We'll expose the homogenization trap that makes every new movie look the same, and we will prove why 2D is the only medium built for truly timeless holiday feeling. But before we get into the deep dive, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button for more animated memories. Let's dig in. Let's be real, CGI isn't just the modern choice, it's the safe, fast food choice. Studios aren't picking it for art, they're picking it for scale. Why pay a great artist for 6 months to draw a unique character when you can pull pre-made 3D models and lighting setups from a digital asset bank? CGI becomes the default look because it's already tested to appeal to the widest audience. It removes the need for a unique artistic vision. The goal shifts from making a beautiful piece of art to optimizing for quick toys and predictable sales. It's Christmas filmmaking as a predictable, high-volume product. Now look, let's keep it 100. CGI isn't evil. It has technical strengths. But these strengths are almost entirely useless for what makes a great Christmas story. Take photorealism. CGI can render a perfectly detailed snowstorm. But Christmas stories don't need realism, they need wonder. Hand-drawn snow is symbolic, it feels like a fairy tale. CGI snow? It just looks like snow. It doesn't transport you, it just reminds you of the huge rendering budget. Same thing with dynamic camera work. That flashy 360-degree camera move showing a hyper-detailed CGI village just distracts from the quiet, emotional core of the story. It's a visual flex that tells you the world is big, but doesn't allow you to feel it. They prioritize the spectacle of the polygon count over the intimacy of the emotional beat. And in a holiday film, spectacle is a weakness.
Oh, thanks, mister. You're mean.
The greatest strength of 2D is its freedom from reality. It doesn't have to obey physics or anatomy. It only has to obey the artist's vision. This is why 2D characters are iconic and timeless. Look at the angular, impossible exaggeration of the Grinch, or the simple, circular vulnerability of Charlie Brown. The design is the personality. That is the power of the drawn line. It tells us what the character feels, not just how they look. Traditional animation techniques offer an intangible layer of emotional warmth. Your brain sees that deliberate imperfection, the brushstroke, the faint charcoal background, and registers it as handcrafted. That triggers an immediate feeling of nostalgia, care, and quality. Holiday films thrive on sentimentality, and 2D is the only medium where the medium itself adds to that feeling. You can sense the human hand that created it, and that sense of humanity is exactly what a deeply emotional Christmas story needs. Here's the killer. CGI ages poorly. It's always chasing photorealism, and today's cutting-edge rendering will look chunky and plasticky in 5 years. You literally watch the technology age in real time. 2D animation, however, relies on artistic style, composition, and color theory, principles that simply don't change. It ages gracefully, transforming from a TV special into a genuine piece of visual folklore. This is why families still gather generation after generation to watch 60-year-old 2D specials, but are far less likely to revisit a decade-old, plasticky CGI flick. Timelessness is critical for a holiday tradition, and for tradition, 2D will always be the champion. Look, I need to be clear, I am not condemning CGI as a tool. I am condemning the generic, glossy, mass-market look it's been reduced to in holiday films. When 3D is used artistically, it can be stunning. The difference is intentionality. The problem is not the technology. The problem is when the technology leads and the art suffers. The principle is simple. Style must always dictate technology, not the other way around. But the reality is, most studios treat the holiday film as a quick, sellable, interchangeable product, an assembly line cash-in. Why? Because the default CGI template is predictable and cheap to scale. The risk is that unique, heartfelt holiday animation, the kind with real soul, will be drowned out by the sheer volume of these generic flicks. We're losing the chance for new classics to be made. So, the challenge goes to both sides. To creators, don't default to CGI because it's convenient. Think about the mood and feeling first. Choose the medium that best serves the feeling of the holiday story. And to audiences, be smart viewers. Seek out and support new works that prioritize artistic vision and emotional truth over just visual spectacle. Because if you don't support the soul, the studios will keep feeding you the surface. The final verdict is this: the CGI Christmas movie trope must evolve or die. Holiday stories are about emotion, memory, and wonder, things that intentional animation naturally brings to the table, and glossy CGI often fails to. For that, we need the charm of a handcrafted card, not the cold sterility of a printed receipt. So, here's your challenge this holiday season. Instead of hitting play on the latest generic 3D release, go hunt down a hand-drawn classic. Revisit the old magic and demand that new creators give us heart before polygons. What do you think? Did I get it right? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Animated Memories, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching.